The UN is blurring the line between good and evil. Well, that's the message Israeli President Isaac Herzog delivered yesterday on Holocaust Remembrance Day.
President Herzog addressed the UN yesterday, 80 years after the liberation of the Nazi death camp at Auschwitz. He called on the agency to uphold the principles on which it was founded. CBN's Julie Stahl reports.
For decades, Israel rejected any comparison of current events to the Holocaust. That changed after the October 7th attack on Israel, the worst massacre of the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Speakers at the 2-hour UN ceremony highlighted October 7th and the ceasefire deal. The Secretary General emphasized ending the fighting and bringing home the hostages.
And we will do our utmost to ensure it leads to the release of all hostages.
Israeli President Isaac Herzog called the Holocaust the single most catastrophic disaster in history and noted the UN emerged as a voice of repair, healing, and building. He credited its role in establishing the State of Israel, but criticized the body for losing its way.
However, this moral and ethical lighthouse has been eroded time and time again.
Herzog says nations are blurring the distinction between good and evil, distorting the difference between victim and monster, and allowing anti-Semitic genocidal doctrines to flourish.
How is it possible that the same institutions established in the wake of the greatest genocide in history, the Holocaust, are manipulating the definition of genocide for the sole purpose of attacking Israel and the Jewish people?
Based on evidence found in Gaza, he says the October 7th terrorists were inspired by Hitler and the Nazis to destroy Israel, an ideology that's not limited to territory.
But the issue, ladies and gentlemen, is much deeper and reaches far beyond the October 7th massacre. We have all witnessed a huge volcano of anti-Semitism erupt following the massacre.
In an earlier interview, Senator Lindsey Graham expressed the same sentiments.
I'm worried that we're losing 80 years on, that we're rewriting history here. The Holocaust was one of the darkest moments in the history of mankind. There are 15 million Jews on the planet because every generation seems to want to go after the Jewish people so they can't grow and survive.
Meanwhile, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency has until Thursday to vacate its premises in eastern Jerusalem. The Israeli government ordered the eviction because some UNRWA workers took part in the October 7th massacre, and other staffers are members of Hamas and other armed groups. In Gaza, Islamic Jihad published a video of hostage Arbel Yehud, whom they promised to release on Thursday. Hamas is due to also release IDF soldier Agam Berger and another hostage on Thursday. Hamas has confirmed that of the 33 hostages due to be released in the first phase of the ceasefire deal, 25 are alive and 8 are not. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Now, let's pray that all these hostages come home and come home quickly and that this conflict ends. But at the same time, at ending, can Hamas please not be in power in Gaza? Their charter calls for the destruction of Israel, that there would be no more Jews in the Holy Land, that there would be a genocide. They've written it down. They've reaffirmed it. They have said, we will do October 7 again and again and again until Israel is wiped off the map. That should not be allowed in the world today. And the UN should take a very strong stand against it, because what Hamas is saying is the recognition of Israel by the UN in 1948 is somehow illegal. That it just makes no sense. International law is quite clear. It's been quite clear since the San Remo Conference back in the 1920s. Israel has a right to exist in creation of a homeland for the Jewish people so that they can have the right of their own self-determination. All of that is in international law. Anything against it is illegal. And so what Hamas is doing and what they're promoting, and they're promoting a genocide. To turn that upside down and somehow claim Israel's doing that? No, Israel didn't start this war. Israel was trying to live at peace with Gaza. There weren't any Israeli soldiers in Gaza. There weren't any Jews in Gaza. They could have lived on their own, had their own destiny. All of that was theirs to have. But what they wanted, well, the Al-Aqsa flood, they wanted Jerusalem. They wanted all of Israel. They want to wipe Jews off the map. Let's recognize what this is and call it for what it is. It's evil.